All right, wonderful. Thanks so much. I couldn't think of a better way to spend a sunny afternoon to do something that is probably been 20 years in the making, but never better the opportunity than today. And I especially want to thank all those individuals that really, to come out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a workday sometimes could be challenging. So I'd like to first introduce, of course, the King family, and Doug and Claire, welcome. Great to have you with us. And then I have really the honor of introducing the Scott's family, Becky, and the kids, Emily, Abby, and Molly. And so as a little token of our appreciation for Claire and Becky, we have some flowers that we are thrilled that you are able to be with us. So I think all of you know that the occasion is to officially dedicate this particular facility on behalf of Scott King. And so before we move to that, and by the way, when Doug and I talked early on, and I will tell you that as we talked about with our leadership at the Y, it was literally a no-brainer, a home run, absolutely supported, the right thing to do. And so we're so thrilled that you're able to be with us to celebrate today. Now, one of the questions might be, how do we get here? I had the good fortune to meet Doug, and I think Doug, 1992 is when I came to my present position. And of course, first thing I needed was a place to live. And for the first 9 months, I actually lived just on Daniel Drive, just behind Easton Baptist Church, which, by the way, some of you I think will learn today that Easton Baptist Church is one of many organizations, churches, and others that have been the beneficiary of Doug and Claire's philanthropy over the years. Now, how this thing came to be, Henry Frenette, where's Henry? In the green hat there. I think about 8-9 years ago, we dedicated the boardroom of the Y to Henry as being the longest continuous member of our board of directors. But I remember it was the last week of December in 1998, I believe, Christmas week. Henry called one day and basically said, he's talked with Doug, and Doug would like to donate the fitness center to the YMCA. And that is literally how it all came about. And within a week's time, it all happened. I did a little reflection this morning, and because the acquisition of this particular facility that is now known as the Easton YMCA, some of you may know or should know that we actually refer to the site as the Claire and Doug King campus that the Easton YMCA sits on. So back at our annual meeting in 2004, which is because we acquired the facility over a period of time, but on October 27, 2004, we presented Doug with our Community Impact Award at our annual meeting, and that meeting happened to be held at the Martin Institute of Stonehill College. And so, Doug, I was trying to figure out, what do I say? And, I'd like to share what I shared that day. So it reads as follows. This will be our Community Impact Award. We are giving this award to an area firm with a long-standing tradition of investing in the community through its support of organizations that build strength, health, and character. The Old Colony YMCA's community impact goes to Douglas A. King Builders. And I invited Doug to come to the podium and join me. Then I continued, King Builders and Doug King have served the interests of philanthropy through the region for many years. King Builders has a regional reputation and a remarkable story of entrepreneurial success. Among the many beneficiaries of Doug King's support are a number of area institutions of higher learning, the medical community, and certainly many fine local nonprofits. At the Old Colony Y, we too have been well served by Doug's historical and significant support of our efforts. In addition to our annual Strong Kids campaign, we are proud and particularly appreciate the rather unique relationship that we've had with Doug since 1997. Prior to that time frame, Easton Y programs were headquartered at the former Frothingham Memorial Corporation building across from the Lincoln Intermediate School that was located on Beryl Street. And then beginning in 1998, Doug graciously donated the fitness center that we are at today, which for the last 5 years we have worked for the last 5 years we have worked diligently to transform into a traditional YMCA. Most recently, on December 31, 2003, Doug further donated the balance of the physical structure located at 18 Oliver Street to the YMCA, which will further enhance our ability to expand programming in the Easton community. By the way, that is that portion of the building, and now for many, many years, that has been used as a child care center, early learning center, to serve the needs of Easton families. In total, by the way, this gift then represented and continues to represent the largest gift donation that the Old Colony Y has ever received in its history. And at that time in history, this particular facility was valued at a gift of $4.1 million. So, you know, from my perspective, I just don't know how else and how to more appropriately do than what we are doing today. Doug's generosity continues in other areas as well. And again, I'm reading from the 2004 script. During the past 3 years, and upon his acquisition of the Lincoln Street Intermediate School, which has been converted into housing, Doug continued to think of the Y and the children of Easton and made provisions for the Y to own the gymnasium adjacent to that facility. The facility complements a broad range of programs for young people offered daily at the Beryl Street site. And I'm also very pleased to share that the YMCA will be the beneficiary of further support by Doug with the planned donation of the gymnasium, which today, by the way, is used as a gymnastics center, if you will. The Old Colony Y is stronger, richer presence in the community because of Doug's spirit and philanthropy. Now, I will tell you that I did not know Scott that well, but I did get to meet him because, as I recall, Doug, he was the project manager of that particular project at Lincoln Intermediate School. So again, it's kind of fitting that we are here today. So, in honor of today, Doug, Claire, and Becky, we have prepared a little booklet that I think is so symbolic, and Doug, your staff was really helpful in taking some photos out of your office and sending them over to us. So, this book begins with a little note and is commemorative of the activities and Scott. And it reads as follows. So it's a note from me to the entire King family. And it reads as follows. For decades, the name King has been synonymous with the spirit of our community, and over time became part of the very fabric of Easton. It's not often that a company and family truly enhance the quality of life for people throughout the region by supporting institutions of higher education, healthcare, and nonprofit human service providers. In 1998, the Old Colony Y presence in Easton and surrounding communities was forever changed after a donation of the existing fitness center located between Elm Street and Oliver Street. Several years later, the remainder of the building was transitioned to the YMCA as well. While this contribution was made to the Y, it was really a gift to the children and families of Easton. Since that time, the facility has become a hub for the community, offering childcare, fitness programming, and such more for thousands of people every year. today we consider it a privilege to dedicate this very building in Scott's name and in front of friends and family. As a small token of our deep appreciation, we've created this book of memories. We hope that you will cherish these moments as much as we do. At the same time, too, under ordinary circumstances, whoops, can't do that. We would have a group of kids, which is a ton of them, right down the end of the building, come out and sing a song and say a few words. And unfortunately, because of today's COVID circumstances, we can't do that. But Claire and Becky, we do have some pictures that we'd like to share with you, and Claire will give them to Becky. But this was really the kids' way of saying thank you to you for the generosity that you have bestowed on us. So moving on, we also reach to our partners in government, and I'm very pleased. We have a couple of surprises, but I'd like to invite a friend to so many of us, Representative Claire Cronin, and she has a proclamation. Oh, you're ready? Okay. I was looking at Faith. She has a proclamation for the family. So, Claire?
Right up to the shade over there. Lovely daughters. I'll just read this since we're socially distancing here.
Can you hear me?
Sorry.
On behalf of the House of Representatives, be it hereby known to all that the Mass House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Doug and Claire King in recognition of the dedication of the Easton YMCA in memory of Doug Scott King and his service to the youth and families of Easton. And the entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. And it's offered by me and it's signed by the Speaker of the House as well. There you go. And I also have our colleagues from the Senate, Senator Mike Brady and Senator Walter Timilty, who are here to present something from the Senate as well. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Rep. Cronin. It's always a great help to us here in Easton. Thank you, Rep. Today, first of all, thank you very much to the Y and to the King family, to Becky, Emily, Abby, and Molly, and of course, Claire and Doug. You know, the town of Easton's always been about giving and community, and the King family, that is emblematic. You are emblematic for giving and togetherness and unity. And to you, Becky, and Emily, and Abby, and Molly, and Doug, and Claire, it's incredibly appropriate what you've done for the Y over the years. What you've done, and this is a wonderful tribute to a wonderful guy with Scott. So thank you very much. Senator Brady here as a citation for the King family, and we thank you very much for what you've done for Easton and what you've done for the region. It will never be forgotten, and Scott's just a wonderful person who will always be in our thoughts and our prayers. Thank you all. Michael.
Thank you, Senator, and I'm honored to be here and part of this honor, Mr. and Mrs. King and their family and Becky. And it's been a tough situation for a lot of us. We've all lost family members in the past couple of years, and this year, especially with COVID, as Vinny mentioned, it's tough for us to gather. And I'm glad we can safe distance today outdoors. And I got a funny story. When I first got invited to this, I used to be on the committee management at the YMCA in Brockton years ago. Of course, I used to renew my membership, but you can tell I'm overdue to get back on the Y. So I thought Vinny was railing me in to re-sign me up for another membership at the Y. But No, on a serious note, I've been honored to be a part of the Y Community Management for many years when I was on the City Council, Brockton, before I got into the state legislature. And we were able to raise a lot of funds and renew and refurbish some of the Ys out there. And I thank you, Doug, and your family for all your dedication to the YMCA. And of course, we're here to honor Scott. I met Scott several times over the years, and it's been a tough loss for our community. And I want to thank you and your whole family for everything you've given to this community. You've done nothing but first-class work and dedication to our community that we represent here in the town of Easton and the whole area here. So this is a citation from the State Senate, official citation being known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to the family of Douglas Scott King, a recognition of the dedication of the Easton YMCA in memory of Douglas Scott King in his service to the youth and families of Easton. This is signed by the Senate President Karen Spilka, the clerk Michael Hurley, myself Michael Brady, and our fellow colleague in the Senate Walter Timothy on this date, August 20th, 2020. And again, thank you for all you've given to us in our community, and please, anything we can do at the state level, please don't hesitate to contact us, because we represent you, our constituents out there, and we're grateful that you're a part of this community. So thank you.
Thank you, both senators, for being with us. So now we're about to, in a moment, I'm going to ask the pastor of Easton Baptist Church, Reverend Robert Shelton, to come up and give a blessing and dedication of the building. Before we do that, though, we're going to take a moment and we're going to unveil the actual plaque itself. And so the plaque reads, Easton YMCA in memory of Douglas S. Scott King to serve the youth and families of Easton, dedicated 2020. So to officially dedicate and bless the building, I'd like to ask Pastor Sheldon to come on up and join me at the podium.
Sometimes when a gift is given, you wonder if it's still appreciated. The King family generously gave the parsonage to Easton Baptist Church decades ago, and it's still appreciated and still used to house our youth pastor right now and missionaries in the past. And as we dedicate this building, we know that years from now, many people will have benefited and appreciated. So it's my privilege to pray and offer a blessing. Please join me as we pray. Father God, as we dedicate this building in memory of Scott King, we come asking your blessing, your favor. May this building continue to be used to strengthen families and individuals, a place where the whole person, body, mind, spirit, can be strengthened, a place that helps develop character and promote healthy living. And may this building be a tangible reminder of Scott's values of family, friends, community, and may many families share joy and love here. Oh God, we also acknowledge that there's a mixture of emotions here today, and we continue to ask for the King family in their great loss. We ask that you would continue to provide them help, healing, and comfort. And we also ask that those who use this building might discover the same gifts of healing, mercy, compassion. Oh Lord, bless all who will use this building, all who will work here, play here, learn here. May it be a place of hope, a place of encouragement, of connections, a place of new possibilities. And may this place be, for decades to come, a place where our community gathers and where people find community, friendships, and connections. So we ask that this space be blessed with the joy of play, the connection of friends, for all who use it now and for all who use it in the many years to come. We come asking for your blessing, God, as we dedicate this building in the memory of Scott King. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. In a moment, I'm going to call up a long and dear friend of Scott. His name is J.P. Plunkett, to perhaps provide some words of reflection of his time with Scott. Before I do that, as a little momentum of today, we also have a plaque of the new sign for both King families. So we hope that you will find some solace in it, and perhaps reflection from time to time. Thank you, Darcy. So it really is neat. In talking with Doug earlier this week, we talked a little bit about wouldn't it be nice to have someone say a few words who had a real deep and personal, intimate, long relationship with Scott. So it's my honor to call up J.P. Plunkett to come and share his experience with Scott.
Thank you, Vinny, and to the entire staff and team here, also to the elected officials, and I will say in particular to Plunkett family's lifelong friend, Walter Timothy, and we wish you the very best in the few weeks. So this is very special, and I want to thank Doug and Claire for the honor of being here and saying a few words about Scott. And I think, I will be brief, even though about to be know that I struggle with that. Scott loved a lot of things, so many things, and I actually took the the time. You should all do it. It's actually very fun. Go through his Twitter timeline. It's fantastic. It goes back to about 2013. His first tweet ever was very simple. It was hashtag Gronk. That was it. No pictures, no other words, just hashtag Gronk. And his most recent tweet was a picture of him and his beautiful daughters and Becky with Patriots Super Bowl ×6 t-shirts. That was his last tweet. And I just think that it just says so much about Scott. I know I'm going to run the risk of skipping somebody and getting somebody mad at me, but I'm going to take a chance here and very quickly point out some people in the crowd who meant a lot to Scott. I'm seeing Michael Glynn back there. Glenny, you might have been his best buddy. You did so much for Stuart, and he did a lot for you. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful friendship. So you deserve amazing kudos for your loyalty to Scott King and him back to you. It was very special to see that friendship. I see Johnny Adams, a dear friend of most of us here. Scooter and you were brothers. Don't ever forget that. Basil, Stevie K. Remember the time we went golfing in Rhode Island? What an overnight fun trip that was. Just everybody has these great memories. Fienzo, he called you the Great Fienzo. The Great Fienzo. That's what he referred to you as, and he was not wrong. I see my father, Joe Plunkett, who essentially became an uncle to Scott, and he was more or less a nephew to you, which is just beautiful, beautiful. And again, I know I'm going to miss a friend or two out there, and I'm sorry for that, but I just wanted to quickly send some love to the people who Scott loved and who loved him back, and just how very important those relationships were to Scott. I just would be remiss if I didn't go out of my way to make that very clear. I'm really just here as a spokesman for all you guys. But then most importantly, Scott loved his family. I know we all know that, and I've been lucky to be able to tell you all that. but I just want to remind you and remind everybody here just how important, all the way from his dogs, how much he loved his dogs and walking the dogs and, being with them all the time, and to the beautiful Easter lunches and brunches at the Bay Club. I was always quick to get the photographs. And, the King family Christmas card every year was really a special thing, and I hope there'll be one this year with some January and February and early March photos of Scott, because everybody loves that Christmas card. You have a very, very special family. And Becky, you should be so proud of creating it with Scott. Molly, Emily, and Abby, I think he personified the hashtag, another hashtag that's become so prevalent, girl dad. He really was so proud to be a girl dad. He loved his siblings, and Claire and Doug, God bless both of you. Your son was a favorite of so many of ours. I find myself trying to tweet him and call him, and I have to stop myself, but we all love Scott King, and this is just a special day. So I want to wrap it up. This is a great photo of Scott. He loved fishing. After his family and friends, he loved fishing so much. And this is a fisherman's prayer that was on his mass card that was given out on March 4th. And I'll just conclude with this. God grant that I may live to fish for another shining day. But when my final cast is made, I then most humbly pray. When nestled in the landing net as I lay peacefully asleep, you'll smile at me and judge that I am good enough to keep. Let's all keep Scott King in our heart forever. Thank you so much, King family.
And now I'd like to invite Doug to say a few words.
I want to thank you all for coming. Claire, myself, Becky, Abby, Paul, and Emily. Thank you enough. Many of the why for all of the people in this community. It's so important for all of us. Scott is watching us. Thanks you all. Thank you.
Good job, Doug. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, JP. Those were wonderful words. Yeah, it moved us very much. Vinny, thank you so much for having us, inviting all these wonderful people to come and celebrate. We appreciate it. And we know, even though we can't see him, Scott is here. In fact, he's here every day. He's watching his girls, and he's so proud. He's watching Becky and Doug work so hard to preserve everything that he built up for his family. They're working so hard. They've worked constantly, so many hours. And I think the girls and I would like to thank you so much for all your hard work. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Doug. So as I said, he's here, and we miss him. We miss him very much. But we all have a lot of memories, like JP said. We have memories of him as a baby with all his grandparents and his great-grandparents. My happy baby. My big, chubby, happy baby. And then he became a toddler. Another memory when we look up from our busy lives. A toddler with his Fisher-Price toys, one of which we saved, Weeble. Right, Abby? Right, Molly? Emily? We still have Weeble. But we lost the rest of the guys. And then he would take his Fisher-Price mower with his dad, and we'd go out on the lawn and we'd work hard up and down the rows, make them all neat and straight. And then As a kid at school, he was always happy to come home to Scott with his dog and his brother and his sister. Happy to get off the school bus with Baron waiting and have a happy afternoon at home. Go out with their friends in the yard, come and eat supper. And then on to high school and college, where I met Becky. So wonderful. And they went on to have a great marriage. Happy honeymooners. And I was delighted so much to welcome first Emily, then Abby, and a little bit later, Molly. He loved his girls, all his girls. He loved taking them on his trips that they all planned all over the world to find everything so exciting and different and historic. He went out of his way to plan those trips with you. And I know you remember them all. So thank you, Scott, for that. And thank you for being a great son. And we miss you.
Thank you both. We're going to conclude this afternoon dedication. However, Doug is kindly asked, and we are going to gather at the Shoveltown Brewery right next door. So for those of you that can stay, please just kind of walk around the building, and we will see you all there. Thank you so very, very much for being here today and helping us to dedicate this building on behalf of Scott King. We'll see you over at the Shoveltown Brewery. Thank you.